All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Late Tonight on Chain. I am your friend, your host, your confidant with gray hair. My name is Bill the Bull. Someone's got to be a boomer thread guy, and that is me. That is me. I have now established myself in my own head that I will be the next thread guy. But for the older crowd, because I'm not cool with the young, hip 24-year-olds. Shout out to them. Don't understand Gen Z culture like at all. TikTok trends, what? Although I do need to push TikTok more, you know why though? For distribution, baby, for the builders out there. The more people can learn about the projects and the people in this space, the better. And the more profitable my show becomes. So we will be doing that. All right. Listen, there's a little lag. I don't understand. Anyways, neither the here nor there. Super stoked for today's show. We got JC Crypto on. Looking forward to talking to him, and also from Easy Manager. We were going to have the Clanker team on, but there was a mix-up. They sent me an email a couple days before that went in my junk folder. They cannot come today, but they will be on next month. So look forward to them. Clanker is actually one of the OG spot projects on base. Definitely know all about them. But before we begin, gotta make sure I give love to my sponsors, because without them, the lights go off. And this episode is brought to you by Easy A Kickstart. Listen, if you're a tech builder and you want to go onto Solana and you want to tap into that liquidity, there's no better place than Easy A Kickstart. Easy A Kickstart is incubated from the real world as well. Over 250, I believe, $1 million worth in projects out there, and they have created basically a launch pad for the smartest top minds on Solana. So if you're building an AI, do check out Easy A Kickstart today. And honestly, Solana has had a reputation as a DJ culture casino, and no real projects were built on it. But that has changed, my friends, because of projects like Easy A Kickstart. So check them out, Easy A Kickstart. I'll give some shout outs to our supporting sponsors. We love them all. Banker, most people know Banker. They are the infrastructure for autonomous agents to operate on their own. They've now branched out to Robinhood, allow you to pair tokens with stock tokens, doing all sorts of things. I think actually they created a skill for like Tesla holders to adjust the volume or something. I think that's super dope. They like tell Banker, hey, Banker, adjust my volume in your Tesla, and they do it. Crazy world we live in. Two more sponsors. Nice City on the Solana blockchain. The lands are free. The minerals are deep. Check them out. Albemarle City. And last but not least, Buildify. Buildify is a launch pad that's multi-chain. They're just operating now on base. But the cool thing about them, there's no token involved. They're just here to build, create infrastructure for projects to launch and win. Check them out, buildify.win. All right, got that out of the way. Now, a couple things. The trenches on Robinhood are kind of crazy, man. I know a lot of you are about the Robinhood life. But be careful, man. Be careful, because this is like casino on steroids. Like, it is 1 minute up, 1 minute down. It's just crazy. And the market moves in cycles. And once attention fleets from a project, it's kind of hard. So be careful out there in Robinhood land. It's quite fun, though. It's quite fun. I enjoy it. Hopefully you enjoy it as well, too. But man, some of these projects are just all over the place. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Uniswap just launched their, like, I guess, launchpad as well. Very interesting to see how that plays. I still believe Sushi Swap needs to do something. We got Alex on the show, and literally they need some runners. There's literally 2 projects on Sushi Swap that have any volume, and that's Miyoshi and some other cat coin. I think it's Cat Apple. That's it. In order for a launch pad to have success, you need to have runners. I don't know what they're doing, but I still think they're not that dumb. I do at one point that these things will fly. I don't know. Call me crazy. I don't think Sushi is going to make all that time and attention just to lay an egg. I just don't believe that. So, yeah, we'll pay attention, but something will eat their lunch. All right. Without further ado, though, let's bring on our guest, the one and only JC Crypto. My friend, how are we doing today, sir?
I'm great. Doing great here, and appreciate you letting us come on and talk a little bit about our project. And you're right, Robinhood is going crazy right now.
Yeah, it is going absolutely crazy. But yeah, forget about Robinhood. Let's chat you, man. First of all, welcome to the show. I want to know about Easy Manager. Tell us, what is Easy Manager?
Sure. So Easy Manager is a concentrated liquidity management platform. Uh, Honestly, it's something that we kicked around for a good while. We were doing some things internally just with ourselves, with my partner and I, and kind of came around to a point where it's like, we can do better than some of the other platforms out there in so many ways. And so we decided to take off and build out Easy Manager with one of the main focuses being better tracking of P&L across rebalances, and everything. And so basically what we do is maintain one single position through every rebalance and everything else to give you absolute tracking, along with we're all USDC in, USDC out for better tracking there as well.
What brought you to this idea? Why build it? What was the
honestly, it was
that-
frustrations. We had just come off of helping a crypto platform that struggled, and we helped them rebuild and kind of redesign their platform. And we were looking for what that platform did was concentrated liquidity farming with other people's funds, right? Like that's what they were doing. And so I was working to put together some visibility of their wallets so they can be tracked better and everything else. And I was working with VFAT specifically the day that this happened, and was just so frustrated that I could not pull the data directly out of VFAT that I wanted to get the visibility into their positions for what I felt like was needed for this. And so literally that afternoon, I was talking to my partner TGC about it and just said, hey, listen, we can do so much better than this. And it really was sort of born out of that level of frustration. And honestly, it's a problem everywhere, right? Everybody that does concentrated liquidity farming, you've got spreadsheets. If you're doing it well, you've got spreadsheets showing all of your positions when you've put funds in. And then every time you rebalance, that creates a brand new position. And so again, a lot of it's just built out of the frustration of not having the level of tracking that we would desire from an accounting perspective, and being able to put that out and get that into people's hands and make it available to them.
Interesting. So what are some of the, I guess, challenges as a builder? We interview builders across every chain, and it's obviously not always easy. There's ups and downs and a lot of downs, and maybe that up. In your perspective as a builder, what has been some of the biggest challenges that you faced?
Oh boy, for us, because we are true dev types. I think I might have even said this to you when I first reached out. We are pure devs. I've been a software developer for over 30 years. I started building websites in 1995, right after our town got its first dial-up internet. I started building websites that early. And so I've been doing this for a long time. But the biggest issue that we face as devs is we're not marketing people. Right. We have an amazing platform. The feedback we get on it is always super positive. Everybody loves it, but we're not the type that can get out there and be all over promoting. And that's a huge hindrance to us, is not having a spot to promote, or any help to get promoting out there, which is why shows like this are such a big deal for a team like ours.
So how do you shift that perspective though, from a builder's point of view? Because it is tough when we live in a digital world where now building is no longer the moat. Obviously you have AI tools, your infrastructure, everyone's a builder now. Literally now the imagination of somebody can explore an opportunity. So obviously distribution is. How though do you approach it? Obviously shows like mine are here for distribution, but internally as a founder, what do you have in mind, especially from a dev background? How do you approach that besides going on shows like mine internally? What are you envisioning?
So we've talked about starting our own show, and that'll be something that we will do at some point when time permits, when we get past a few more rounds of development. Because I would like that. I'd like to have we have a YouTube channel that's got just some education videos on there now on how to use the site. But I would like to utilize that channel and create even like a weekly AMA type video where we just come on live and let people ask us questions. We bring on some of our users to talk through some of their positions. So would love to get down to where we're doing some of that. Other than that, that's sort of the area that we're trying to focus on right now and put together that real plan to help get us sort of out the gate more and get more spread there. We implemented a referral program and have high hopes for that being helpful. My crypto background is I came up last cycle through all of the BSC projects, Drip and Elephant and Furio and all of those. And so spent a lot of time in the ROID app space back before any of us understood that. And so the referral program nature of those really helps them spread. And we wanted to do that in a way, of course, that's sustainable and fair to everybody. And so we put together our referral program for that. And that's one of our primary things we hope helps us grow coming up here.
Talk to me about BSC land, because I don't talk to many people who have known that ecosystem. What is life like in BSC land? What drew you into that whole sector?
Oh, honestly, it was my first introduction to DeFi. And so one of who's a good friend now, a guy named Patrick for a team called Cryptozoa. And I had come across one of his articles one day about Drip. And anybody that's not familiar with Drip, it was an ROID app / Ponzi. We just didn't understand it at the time because a lot of us were new to crypto back then. So I came across an article that Patrick had written on Medium. Patrick's a fantastic writer, and was reading about Drip and what it was and how it worked and everything else, and decided to just dive into it, right? And so from there, got tuned into his Telegram group, and then became one of the leaders of the Telegram group. He got me started writing, and I actually built out a really large downline in those protocols through his teachings and writing and everything else. So really, I put it all to Patrick that he brought me into that space there. And like I said, BSC was just kind of where I landed because that's where the people I was following were working at that time. As for now, it's dead.
No, that's very interesting.
For the most part, now it's dead for projects like that. They had some resurgence with some memes earlier on this cycle a little bit, and they've done well with that and getting more volumes going there. Now everything that we focus on is where is the volume happening, right? Like what chains are important to be part of for the volume, and everything we look at really is liquidity farming based. And that was my goal for this entire cycle. After being through the ringer last cycle on all of the stuff we did there, I was not interested in putting my funds into anybody else's protocols to manage funds for me. I wanted to manage my funds myself. And the best way to do that in crypto is through concentrated liquidity farming. You get more control over that once you start to learn and understand. And so that was my goal this whole cycle, was to focus on liquidity farming. And then, like I said, Easy Manager came about, it was about October, late September, October of last year that we started work on this and got it to a launch point in February. And so really excited to have gotten there. And like I said, it just sort of fits my entire focus for this cycle to have had the ability to put this project together.
What chains are you focusing on? You're saying go where the liquidity is, go where the volume is. Which is the ones that catch your eye at the moment?
Right now, obviously, it's Robinhood. And so we actually launched Robinhood yesterday. And so right now we've got an Ethereum pool and an NVIDIA pool on Robinhood available. And then we're adding, I think, 4 or 5 more next week, or between now and next week. We've got to wait on our time lock to allow the pools. And so we're going to get a little bit deeper into the tokenized stocks. Honestly, that's what excites me about Robinhood the most. I'm not a meme token guy. And if you come onto our site, which is easymanager.finance, if you come onto our site and you go to explore our pools, you'll see that our pools list is actually fairly heavy curated towards blue chips, right? We did not want to get out there. We want to create an environment where people are winning, right? And we don't want to put out a bunch of memes for LP farming because those prices can drop through the floor. And honestly, that's been some of the worst experiences farming I've had, is when I got too into a meme token and then the price drops through the floor and you're stuck holding the bag on that after the fact. And so we wanted to create more of a safe, stable place for people that are serious about liquidity farming and aren't only going to go chase the high APRs that you can see when you're farming.
Interesting. Yeah, I think tokenized equities is the most interesting thing as well to me on on Robinhood, because it's just so unique and novel, bringing equities on chain, and you're going to start seeing, every chain do it. And I think it opens up a lot of possibilities of what you can do. Imagine you take an equity stock, pair it, then lend against it, or different things that you can do with DeFi strategies. What's next for you guys for Easy Manager? What's the focus on for the next 1 to 2 months? Because 1 to 2 months is equivalent of about a year in the real world.
Right.
On fleets. So what's the main goal, main focus at the moment for Easy Manager?
So we're going to wrap up our Robinhood integrations, which is going to be great. We are working on a project right now that I'll give just a brief overview of. We've not shared this very publicly yet, but we're working on a secondary sister platform that will create a bit of an aggregator between a perp site and Aave for lending, borrowing, and working in such a way that we can integrate those types of positions directly to concentrated liquidity positions through Easy Manager and be able to tie all of that together. What that allows is for hedging to be created and things like that. Actually, I just got a note that we went away from the perps. TGC's watching us here. So we went away from the perp side, but for Aave. And so again, that allows you to hedge against your positions, create delta neutral style positions. It allows you to create some leverage and borrow against your funds, like you were just talking about, borrow against your funds and immediately get those put into a position on Easy Manager, and then track that those funds borrowed on Aave are used in a position on Easy Manager as well. And so honestly, that's the biggest thing we've got going right now, and it's pretty great. We've got a proof of concept that's working really well for that already, and we're probably still a few months from getting that out the door, just because we want to finish it up a little bit more. And then, of course, security audits. Everything we do is fully audited. We would never release something without proper audits and then ongoing tracking and everything else there. And so, yeah, that's our biggest thing that we're going as far as our next step is bringing in that ability to run the calculations for hedging and delta neutral strategies, as well as some basic leveraged trading as well in there.
Do you think Robinhood is going to be the main focus for you guys? Do you think it's going to be the change this cycle?
No, not at all. So we're on lost my count there. We're on 6 different chains. We've got Base, Ethereum, Arbitrum, Binance Smart Chain, Hyper EVM. It is actually a really active chain still. Of course, the prices have been down a little bit lately, and then Robinhood. And so we're on 6 different chains and have pools available across all of them. And so really, we're not going to be hyper-focused on one chain. We wanted to get moving on Robinhood because it's a good time to get moving on Robinhood, obviously. But again, I'm really excited about the tokenized equities. Like we said, I think that for the more normal people, the non-crypto native people that are just coming in, and of course that's kind of the whole goal of Robinhood in general, is getting a lot more people involved into crypto. I think a lot of those people are going to be much more comfortable with those tokenized equities because they know what they are, they've heard of them, they don't have funny names, and then there's also going to be plenty that want to chase the crypto memes as well, right? I just feel like really all around that we're going to have a lot more TVL added in tokenized equities as we move forward here.
Gotcha. Real quick, what are we looking at on the site? I noticed.
So this is actually our Explore Pools page. Like I mentioned, we're heavily curated on our pools. We are not a manager that just wants people to be able to open a position on whatever random pool they want to. Like I said, we like to keep higher TVL pools so people don't have to worry about slippage when they come in, things like that, and good strong volumes. And so, just for an example here, we can look at this Ethereum USDC, and we can see we've got 8 pools for that WETH USDC across different chains. So Base, Ethereum on here. There's one for Arbitrum there. You've got the WETH USDT pools on Ethereum, Arbitrum, and BSC. And so again, you can start to get an idea of all of these pools. And then, of course, on Robinhood chain, we've got our NVIDIA pool here, which is pretty great too. And so while we're on here, if you don't mind, I'd love to just take a quick minute to just show how easy it is to open a position. This is another thing. You can see how fast our entire site loads. It was built very much to be a very quick site. Something else that we added is the ability to just set your ranges directly on the chart without having to, guess at your numbers or move it around. And then something else that a lot of people do is put that over a tick liquidity chart, which very few people understand how to utilize that either way. And so it's as simple as coming in and picking what pool you want. So we'll just look at this NVIDIA pool. And so the NVIDIA pool is paired with USDG. And so where typically we're USDC in, USDC out for the tracking, on Robinhood, it makes more sense to be USDG. We have a built-in bridge right there, so you can bridge from another chain straight into Robinhood as you need to right there to get that USDG. But, as soon as we put in our numbers here and we can change this range and look down here at the bottom, we have our estimated APRs. So as we change this range, it's actually giving us an updated estimated APR for the range that we select as we select it. And we can view that on the last 24 hours, the last 7 days, or the last 30 days. And so really, it's a pretty great way to be able to do that. Instant back tests that shows exactly what you're looking at over the last however many days, 7 days, 30 days. Some of these pools aren't 30 days old yet on Robinhood, so that's an interesting one there. So again, just really easy to do that. If you have positions out on another CL manager, you can actually import those positions. I don't know if this wallet doesn't have any positions that I'm on right now. So you can import existing positions that way to get them over and get the tracking. And then for the tracking that we've made such a big deal about, right? Of course, it's going to be slow on me on this one. This wallet has a lot of, that was my no change. There we go. That's why I didn't go up there. Okay, so let's just look at this position that's been open for 38 days. It's got a good P&L on there. We have full P&L tracking. And let's take a look at what the last 38 days has looked like on this position right here. It switched my network to base automatically. There's no drop down to change your network. Our site changes you to the network you want to be on when you want to be on that network. And so looking at the position history of this, so this position's had 3 rebalances. And so we can come down. We have the absolute complete history of this position all the way back. We can see it's been getting fees left and right, all the way back to when this position was opened in June. We have all of this data available right here, every compound, every rebalance, all tagged to one single position. What that gives us the ability to do, that's my favorite thing on the entire site, is range history. So you can view our expanded chart, and then you can actually see what ranges this position has been in since it was opened. And so it shows every different range segment that this has been in. And I love this. Gives you the ability to group. So we can group by pair. And so we can see all of the WETH USDC positions or all the CBBTC positions. We can view all of those ranges on a single chart to see where we are. So many great things for tracking. And again, even just tracking the P&L of this across all of those different rebalances and having the ability to know that we've collected 132 in fees, we've compounded another 216, and then we get to see where that offsets on the fees that have been added with that as well. That's something else we do sometimes to our detriment. Nobody else shows the real fees that you're being charged on your concentrated liquidity positions. We made a big deal very early on that we want to be completely transparent and make sure that was part of the accounting as well. And so, again, that was a very, very brief overview of that, but glad to get to show a little bit of it for sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I could tell the passion in between and the expertise that you have. You obviously know what you're doing, my friend. Any last words you have? We have to wrap things up, but any last words you have for the audience watching currently right now, or when they eventually watch it on YouTube and Spotify?
Would love for you guys to come check us out. We're at Easy Manager CL on Twitter, and that's got links out to our website, easymanager.finance. We actually have a secondary sister site called easymoney.finance that is a little bit more hands-off version of concentrated liquidity farming, fully automated and everything else. And come join our Telegram group and ask any questions you'd like, and we're happy to have you.
Excellent, my friend JC Crypto. It's been awesome, man, having you on. We'll make sure our team has a couple clips made for you for the show. We'll tag you and we'll send it out your way. Thanks for coming on Late Night on Chain, sir.
Awesome. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, JC Crypto from Easy Manager. Awesome. Well, listen, we do probably have to wrap it up. We don't have Clanker on, so the second guest, we typically have two great guests like JC on, but today we just have one. So I don't know. We'll see what's on the agenda. I think right now all eyes are on Uniswap. I think Sushi. I'm about to become one of the biggest Miyoshi whales. Actually, though, before we turn it off, want to make sure that we play a word from our sponsor. Let's see. Because again, if you're based, I do highly recommend you checking out Easy A. Easy A is a great project, great platform. The founders are the Kwok brothers, and they're just biggest chats ever. So we want to make sure we play and we get more people involved because, right now Robinhood is fun, equities and whatnot. But I don't feel there's anything out there. I just really don't. I feel there's a lot of ability to target that, but let's share a quick message from. Let's share some things. 1 second. 1 second. Got to make sure I do my thing to make my sponsor. Don't know why the camera just turned off. Don't want that. 1 second. All right. Message from our sponsor. Let's make sure we end this. All right. Message from our sponsor, Easy A Kickstarter. Check them out. Again, if you're a tech builder, head out over there. All right, guys, listen, we're going to wrap things up. Not too many people show up today, but it's all good. It's all good in the hood because we do this Monday through Thursday, noon PST, every single day, not on Fridays. Got to take a time for yourself. But we still had a few hundred tuning in, so appreciate each and every one of you. Hopefully, you guys check out Easy Manager as well. JC Crypto, thank you again for coming on the show. And until next time, we're back at it tomorrow, every single day. Let's see what happens in the Robinhood Casino. Why don't we? Cheers, guys.